Hello everyone, this is Nitesh Agrawal. Today we will be studying about the concept of relative motion, and in that specific concept the example that I am taking up today is a specific example of crossing a river. So you all know that whenever a boat crosses any river, what basically happens is we can never ride in a straight way, because if we ride in a straight way like this, there is a current of river as well. It means the water flow of the river is also having some speed. So that is why if you start at this point A and you want to reach down to the point B, and if you have started traveling straight, it will never be possible to reach point B. Now the reason is very much clear, because there is some speed of the water as well. Correct, river is also flowing. So now depending upon that speed, your net speed would change. So suppose you are traveling horizontally in a straight manner from point A to point B. Suppose the speed of the boat is VB. This is the speed of the boat for now. Correct. Assume water is flowing with some speed. Let the velocity of water is VW. Now these velocities are as seen from the ground. So from the ground, if you observe, the boat is having velocity like this, and water is having velocity like this. So when you calculate the net velocity, so net velocity will come somewhat like this, right? Making some angle with horizontal and vertical as well. So that is why if you want to travel straight from point A to point B, it will not be possible, because your net velocity is somewhat like this. Now this is happening just because the river is flowing. If the speed of the water was absent, if there was no speed of the water present, then only speed of the boat would be there. In that case, it is possible to reach straight from point A to point B. Obviously here we are not considering other factors like forces implemented by water body on that boat. So we are not considering frictional force and all those forces. We are assuming that those forces are absent. We are assuming the ideal case scenario. So if water is not flowing, if the water is stable, in that case, if you start off from point A and your velocity is directed towards point B, so it will be possible to travel from point A to point B. But if the river is flowing, it won't be possible. So now how are we going to solve this problem? Basically, I want you to calculate the time taken by the boat to travel from point A to point B. Now obviously, if you have seen in your practical life, the person who is trying to ride the boat, he never takes the velocity starting from point A to point B straightforward. He always tries to sail the boat making some angle. So suppose this is the velocity of boat marked with a red arrow here. This is suppose the initial velocity of boat. So he is trying to keep his velocity in this direction, so that due to water flow, he gets the resultant velocity somewhat towards B. So basically what happens is, we will change a frame of reference from ground. So now suppose I want to calculate the velocity of boat with respect to water. Just because if the water is at rest and if we are having velocity of boat only, it will be easier to calculate. So as you all know about the concept of relative motion, आप जिसके भी रेस्पेक्ट में फाइंड कर रहे हो, आप उसे रेस्ट पे अज्यूम करते हो और उसकी वेलोसिटी को ऑपोजिट डायरेक्शन में बाकी बॉडीज में ऐड कर देते हो. So here we are considering velocity of boat with respect to water. It means I will assume that water is at rest and I'll add the velocity of water in the opposite direction to the velocity of boat. So this would be the velocity of water here, right? Is it clear now? So now this is now the whole velocity scenario is somewhat like this. Like this we were having. I'll just make things a bit more clear. Just a second. So basically see what things were you having here. I'm taking help with arrow symbols. So we had some velocity of boat, sorry. Yeah, now we are good to go. So we are having some velocity of boat like this, right? Also we wanted to add velocity of water in opposite direction. So suppose this is somewhat the velocity of water, fine. So this is the thing that we are having here. We already have here velocity of boat and we have here velocity of water in the opposite direction, because velocity of boat with respect to water also means velocity of boat minus velocity of water. Now due to this minus symbol, obviously we will be having the velocity in opposite direction added to the velocity of boat. Now if you check here, we had velocity of boat making some angle theta with horizontal. So you can always resolve it into two components. One of the components would be in the vertical direction and another component would be in horizontal direction. So the component in vertical direction would be somewhat like this, and will be having component in horizontal direction as well, somewhat like this, suppose, right? I am changing the color so that it is easily visible to you all. So I have resolved the components of velocities of boat in two separate direction. So this is the velocity of boat in y direction, and this is velocity of boat in x direction, right? Now just a second. Yeah, so now I have changed my screen. Here I have brought you to a new screen. So we had velocity of boat in y direction, sorry, in x direction. We had velocity of boat in y direction, and in x direction we also had velocity of water added to it, right? So if you check, the net velocity in x direction is velocity of boat plus velocity of water, and net velocity in y direction is velocity of boat. So we had a single velocity of boat which we resolved it into two components. Now this y component will obviously be equals to VB, and suppose this angle is theta, so this will be equals to VB sine theta, and this x component would be equals to VB cos theta. Now suppose this was the river that we were trying to cross, and suppose the distance, suppose that the width of the river is some d. Let the width of the river is some d. So now when we are traveling from this point to this particular point, the component of velocity that is responsible for this travel is obviously this y component of velocity itself. Only this is responsible for traveling in this particular direction, right? So that is why the time taken to reach from point A to point B will be due to y component of velocity, and time taken will be equals to total distance traveled divided by total velocity, because acceleration is not present here. So I can say that total time taken is total distance, that is some d upon y component of velocity of boat, that is VB sine theta. I hope this much is clear to you. So this is the time taken to travel from this point to this particular point. Now what will happen is, due to flow of the river, when we started off from point A, it might not be possible to land at point B, and it is possible that you might have landed at some point C. Now the difference between point B to point C will be known as drift, and we will denote this drift as some x1 now. So this x is the distance traveled in the x direction, right? Now the distance traveled in this x direction due to x component of velocity vector itself. So now this x component of velocity vector will be this much. So the distance traveled, that is distance traveled, will be equals to speed into the time taken, and the time taken to reach from point A to point B is equals to time taken from point B to point C. So time taken for this whole journey is this much. So we'll be substituting this t here itself. So from here you will get the total velocity as, now instead of this Vbx, I am writing here Vb cos theta plus velocity of river into d upon Vb sin theta. I hope this much is clear to you. So from here I have derived the expression of drift and the time taken in this whole journey as well. Correct? So you must always remember not to by heart any of the formulas. The concept is very much important when you are appearing for JEE mains or advanced, because things might get changed here. I have assumed velocity of boat in this direction. In the question, velocity of boat might be given to you in somewhat in some other direction, but concept would remain the same. You will have to get velocity of boat with respect to water, for which you will have to add the velocity of water in opposite direction to the velocity of boat and get the resultant components in x and y directions accordingly, right? So this is the total drift. I hope this much concept is clear to you. Now if you want to minimize the drift, x का value को सबसे कम करना है, so when will the value of x be reduced? It will only depend, see, d is constant, width I cannot change, velocity is constant, for now I cannot change. Only the changes I can make is with the angles. So on changing the angles I can minimize the drift. Now it's totally up to you. I'm leaving to you this as an assignment to check as at which angle the drift would be minimum. Correct? Now to minimize the drift you will have to minimize the numerator and maximize the denominator. You can check how can you do it. I'm giving you one very small example of time. So when can time taken be minimum? So for minimum time taken, your denominator has to be maximum. To maximize the denominator, maximum value of sin theta can be 1, and that is that theta is equals to 90 degrees. So if I move in a straightforward way, in that case the time taken to reach from point A to point B would be minimum. But we already know that in that case we won't be reaching to point B, we will be reaching to some point C which will be very farther away from point B, right? Because of the velocity of water as well. So that is why obviously time taken would be minimum in this case, but drift would become maximum here. So how can you minimize the drift? You can think about it. So this is all for this particular lecture. Go ahead, revise the concept, practice lots of questions and try doing these derivations of your own. In case you are having any doubts, feel free to comment below. Thanks a lot.